Lost Island Theme Park is a park that opened in May of 2022 in Waterloo, Iowa, and is currently in its second operating season. The park was an ambitious $100 million investment by the owners of the successful Lost Island Waterpark, which consistently is ranked among the top 10 water parks in the United States as voted on by readers. Living 50 minutes from this park, I really wanted to get a review out as I would hate for my new home park to have a very short operational life. Despite the popularity of the water park, the theme park has had a very rough start to its operating life, drawing very low crowds in its first year, resulting in only one operating day being profitable for the park. While some of this could be attributed to reasons outside of the park's control, some of the issues are in the park's control and continue to linger in its second year of operation. That is not to say that the park is lackluster, as it is a beautiful theme park that has a lot of charm, effort, and work put into it, as I will discuss. But unlike Field of Dreams, running a theme park is not simply a case of if you build it, they will come. Before we get to some of the issues and downsides that have hindered the park's operating success, I want to go over what the park does well and why so many people see potential in its future success if it can remain operational. First off, the theming. For being a small independent park, the level of detail that went into the theming, characters, and lore of the park is incredible. The park is split into 5 themed areas or realms, with each having their own unique look, theme, and feel. First off, you have Mura, or the Fire Realm, which you will find a lot of red, orange, and yellow fire colors to it, as well as some rockwork for volcano-like structures. From there you will enter the Yuta, or the Earth Realm, which contains a lot of green and non-volcanic rockwork, as well as some tree rockwork, so more like bedrock and earthy kind of rocks. You will also come across Awa, or the Water Realm, which you will find a lot of blue and aquatic based attractions and theming. The 4th realm you will come across will be the Udara, or the Air Realm, and that will have a purple-white color and has a lot of theming to clouds in the sky, and you will find a lot of sky-based attractions here, such as the Drop Tower and the swings. And then before heading back to the front again, you will encounter the Tamariki Realm, or the Spirit Realm as it's referred to, which is the kids area where you'll find your Wacky Worm as well as your playground and other kiddie rides. You will also find that each realm has its own character or mascot, and the designs look really good and add a lot of character to the realms. I know the Tamariki designs for the kids look really good, and I know that if I got my daughter one, she would love it, so they did a really good job with the theming here. The theme park is only 60 acres, and you will notice that when you enter through the front gates, as you will be able to see the entire theme park from the front. That makes getting to things very easy, and it's very hard to get lost at this park. The good thing is the park is a simple circle, so you will be able to see the entire park no matter where you are, which makes finding things very easy. Despite the small size, there are 25 rides at the park, and I think they did a good job having decent rides in each area. While 25 rides is not a lot by any means, I think they did a good job getting quality over quantity for a starter park. The Mura Realm has Volcano, the amazing 4D dark ride, as well as the Zamperla Disco and Discovery flat rides. Yuta has the Log Flume and Madugani. Udara has the Drop Tower, Gerstlauer Skyfly, and Napuko Air Coaster, as well as the swings. Overall, I would say Awa, or the Water Realm, is the weakest, and probably could have had the Log Flume theme to its area instead of the Yuta Realm, but overall I would say Awa still has some decent flat rides to find. Madugani, Napuko Air Coaster, and Lokolo, which is the Wacky Worm, are the 3 roller coasters you will find here. Madugani formerly operated as Kanonen at Leesburg in Sweden before finding its home in Iowa, and the launch is still impactful despite only hitting 45 miles per hour. The ride runs well with a bit of a rattle, but is still a fun-filled ride that you can easily ride over and over again. Napuko Air Coaster is the dreaded Vekoma SLC, and I think aside from the first Cobra roll, the ride runs decently smooth and has a good amount of intensity. And then finally, the Wacky Worm is just a Wacky Worm. There's nothing more to say about it. It gets its job done as a good kids ride. And finally, operations were decent, but the staff is very nice and accommodating, and everyone seemed to be having a good time working here despite the low crowds. As I said earlier, some of the struggles of the park are due to factors outside of their control, but I have a few issues to bring up that the park can definitely attempt to nullify or change for the better, as they are definitely in the park's control. To start, there is virtually zero shade at this park, so on hot days you will be baking in the sun the entire time. I am not sure if they are planning for the greenery and plants to grow enough to provide this shade or not, but if that's the case, they still got a while to wait. Obviously putting shades up would hurt the park appearance a bit, but I think most people will take the small inconvenience in exchange for being able to cool off in the shade a bit on a hot day. Another issue is that the theme park is a half a mile away from the water park, and the park does not offer any sort of shuttle service back and forth. This wouldn't be a problem except for the fact that parking is free at the water park and costs $10 at the theme park. Guests are essentially paying an additional $10 on top of the two-park ticket if they want to go to both parks. Speaking of tickets, the ticket prices are very high and expensive. It is $45 for a ticket to just the theme park and $62 to go to both parks in a day. For comparison, Adventureland in Altoona, Iowa is $45 for both the amusement park and water park, which are both in the same location. Looking at a few other major parks nearby, Valley Fair is $34.99 for both parks in a day. Worlds of Fun in Kansas City is $45 as well for both parks. It blows my mind that the ticket prices have not been adjusted to be more competitive, as consumers clearly do not see a reason to pay higher prices compared to the other parks to come here. It is worth noting that a ticket to just the water park is only $32, a very good price for what you get, and it shows as the water park is always highly attended on a daily basis. The park's number one issue is getting people here, and until they offer more competitive prices, I do not see the attendance numbers changing at all. And finally, it is common knowledge that families are a major revenue generator for amusement and theme parks. However, that brings me to my last complaint, and that is that the height requirements for most of the good rides here draw families away. For example, if you want to ride a major roller coaster at Lost Island, that being Napuko Air Coaster or Madugani, you need to be 54 inches tall for Napuko Air Coaster or 56 inches tall for Madugani. Looking at the average height of children, kids don't average a height of 54 inches at the high end of the average until 8 years of age, and do not average 56 inches at the high end until they are 10 years old. This might seem silly on the surface, but it's actually very important. Kids at age 6 average 42 to 49 inches, meaning families can bring their younger kids to other parks where they will have thrilling roller coasters they can already ride, while being able to ride almost none of the coasters at Lost Island. If I had a kid who was 48 inches tall, and my choices were to come here and have him only be able to ride the Wacky Worm, or go to Adventureland where he can ride every single roller coaster at the park, I would definitely choose Adventureland almost every single time. That being said, there is still a good collection of flat rides that are accessible here for younger kids, but I would say the flat ride collection here is comparable to any of the parks that I mentioned previously. Overall, I really hope that Lost Island can find success, and the park itself definitely has everything that is needed. However, I cannot see an improvement in attendance and guest satisfaction if the issues I discussed are not changed. Despite all that, I highly encourage you all, if you're watching this video, to give the park a visit if you can, as most who have attended have positive things to say overall. Thank you all for watching, and if you made it here to the end of the video, I really encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. There will be plenty of more content coming over the summer as I get to more parks, and I would hate for all of you to miss that. I'll see you next time.